Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Press Play Lifestyle Inspired podcast, where we do interviews with inspiring people, like our new friend Chad here from the Flat River Band.
Hey,
And
thanks for having me.
say, hey guys, for our listeners, to help them find the resources, tools, and support they need to be their best inspired selves. So, how you doing today, Chad?
I'm blessed beyond measure.
That is the best answer ever. I love it.
Yes.
So before on our pre-show, we actually, when we were prepping, other people don't know this, but both Chad and I have 4 children. So he's hiding out in the family, caravan so that he can be heard under the boys' roar.
Yeah.
So you have 4 boys, but the band that you're in, right, is the Flat River Band. You guys, it's a brothers band, isn't it?
Yeah, we're 3 brothers. Yeah. We actually grew up in a family band, and we traveled around with our mom and dad and our grandma and grandpa. My grandpa played the dobro, my grandma played the upright bass, daddy played guitar, and mama sang, and we did that for about 20 years. And then my grandparents passed away, and we just kind of felt like it was just time for my brothers and I just to go on and kind of do our own thing. And for the longest time, we had trouble with people pronouncing our last name. I mean, Sitze, it's Sitze, and it's, pronounced like campsites, but it's Sitze. So anyhow, my dad had a little barbershop in a little town called Flat River, Missouri, and for about 30 years. And my brothers and I decided, hey, let's just take on the name Flat River Band. So that's kind of how the name come about.
That's amazing. So is it just you 4 boys, or are you 3 boys, or is there anyone else in the family? Yes.
No, just the 3 boys. Yeah.
So you're used to living with all that guy energy.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of it too, let me tell you.
Yeah. And how many things have your family broken since you guys have been on quarantine, right?
Oh man, I'm telling you, my 3rd son he's a little artist in his own right. He recently, in the last 4 or 5 days, he's actually taken some spray paint from the barn and taken it over to the house and spray painted on the brick. And I'm having to deal with that mentally. You know what I mean? I got a little Picasso on my hands.
Yeah, you're like, I'm half okay with it because it's creative, but it's the brick, man. What were you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, ours is similar in that we've had more red, like as in blood, than we've had in most of our life, because the boys keep bouncing each other's heads off things. So that's been tons of fun.
Yeah.
So the latest, I love you guys are super out there on Twitter. You're out there on Facebook. You're everywhere anyone wants to be. And Every Dog Has Its Day is seen a lot in the feeds lately. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Well, Every Dog Has Its Day is kind of it's basically it's a song for the working man. I mean, it's an inspirational song that compiled with a bunch of old sayings that my grandpa used to say. And then he passes my dad passes me and my brothers. And it's an uplifting song, and it's an encouraging song, So every dog has its day. So,
Yeah. So what is everyone's role then on the band? Like, is it just the 3 of you guys? Do you guys bring in
No, we usually, matter of fact, the last gig that we played was March 14th. We played at a little casino up in Southeast Missouri, and we had a steel guitar player and a drummer. And that's typically what we do. We'll add two more guys, a drummer and another player of some sort, So basically a 5-piece when we go. It depends on what the budget is.
There you go. So lately, it's going to be a lot of the 3 of you guys singing on Zoom, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So do you guys? You were a family band, which means you pretty much travel around and just play music, and now it's the brothers band, right? The Flat River. Do you guys have things you do outside of music, like, jobs type
Oh
thing?
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I said, my dad's got a barbershop and I work along with my dad in Davidson County. They're in Nashville. And both of my other two brothers, they're insurance adjusters.
Oh,
So yeah, you got to do something. Listen, having four boys, a bloodhound, and 45 hens, and I just got rid of a horse. But having that many mouths at the house, you got to have some other income. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Like, unless you're like, Keith Urban, Tim McGraw, or Dolly Parton, you're pretty much
Right,
gotta
right.
work the pavement just like the rest of the guys, huh?
That's right. That's right.
So do you guys write a lot of your own music, or do you?
Yeah, I would say probably 95% of our stuff is we write our own stuff. So
That's nice. So I
yeah.
always ask this, and every musician I ask hates it, but I guess we have to ask. Like, do you have like a favorite song? I know it's like asking if you have a favorite son, but you
Yeah.
know, we all have one. We just don't tell nobody. So, do you have a song you really, really love?
Outside that, well, I myself, I'm kind of, I'm really drawn to a lot of Bob Dylan's gospel stuff. I know it's kind of out of the ordinary and compared to a lot of people, they like his, his more secular stuff. But I'm really drawn to that because he's definitely had some sort of an encounter with God of some sort to write those gospel songs like he did. And my favorite song, one of my favorite songs, I guess, would be "You Got to Serve Somebody." And as simple as a message that it is, it's just man, it's pretty powerful. It doesn't matter what color you are, what background you have, I mean, you have to serve someone. So that's one of my favorites. You got to serve someone by Bob Dylan.
That's nice. I think that's when I was growing up, my grandma used to always tell me that if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing, right?
That's right. Yep.
So you have to
Yep.
kind of have that. What's your code of ethics? So it sounds like that's exactly what. Like, that's a great song about standing for, serving for what you need to. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. So
so are you a real faithful family then, you and the brothers?
we are for sure. We are. We matter of fact, before we started our family band, my dad's a preacher as well. My
Oh,
dad would
look at that.
he would preach to the homeless on every weekend. He would bring me and my brothers. We would sing to the homeless before my dad would preach, and we did that for about 7 years. We traveled about 80 miles north of St. Louis, Missouri, because that's where I'm from. I'm from Southeast Missouri originally, and we would travel every weekend up there, and Dad would preach, and the brothers and I would sing with Mom, and we did that for 7 years, and that was that was an impactful moment for us, because I've seen a lot of things, man. I mean, you see a lot of things, and that's that's probably the most impactful thing in my life, I guess.
So what
But
kind of lessons did it teach you then? Like, so, I mean, you're
well,
out there
you can
singing with
never.
the least of these, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Uh, you never you can never judge a book by its cover. You never. I don't care what it is. You just can't do it. And I remember one time I was probably my middle son's age. It was 10,
Mhm.
and I remember sitting there. I was sitting there in the back row of folding chairs, and I was sitting right beside this guy eating a ham sandwich, and this kind of goes inside with a song called Locust Street on one of our albums. But anyhow, I was sitting there, and he says, "You're gonna get up there and sing, are you?" And he's talking to a 10-year-old. This guy's probably in his 60s, maybe. I mean, he looked like, He said, "You're gonna get up there and sing, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I am." And he was chewing his ham sandwich, and he spit his ham sandwich on me. And yeah, as gross as that is, I mean, it was very humbling, to say the least. And little events like that is what has really I don't know. It
Sticks with
really
you.
it sticks with you, and you know.
Hi there. So it
I don't,
sticks with you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It just kind of stuck with me. I try to pass it down to my kids, you know.
Yeah.
So
So one really interesting thing that came up in my family recently was we were talking about a local man that used to own one of the businesses around here, and his best interview question, which I think you could relate to, is he would ask everyone he interviewed, was Jesus a homeless man? And
yeah,
see what they said, because the way that you unfold that question, right, is even the thought process can say a lot about a person.
yeah. I would myself, and I'm I would say that Jesus was a homeless man. That's my thoughts on it, and my outlook on it, and that's coming from you know, the
Pretty
son and a grandson of a preacher. My grandpa was a preacher for 30 something years,
wow.
and yeah, he was also a vacuum salesman in Palm Springs, California, for a number of years, and he sold everything, and he bought a big tent, and he went out and evangelized and everything.
That's
Uh,
fantastic.
yeah, so
My
yeah, Jesus definitely was a homeless man.
my 10-year-old son, we asked him that question, and he said, well, he said, I believe the way everyone thinks about it is, yeah, definitely Jesus was homeless. He said, but if you believe that home is where your heart is, then he always had a place.
That's
And I
great.
was like, oh, and I'm all sad, right?
Yeah,
And like excited and like, you're so profound. And he's like looking at me like I've lost my mind, you know. But so I was like, what a beautiful thought, you know, from such
yeah.
a young person. And that's probably a lot of what you guys grew up around is,
Oh, yeah.
you know, just
Sure.
that was how everyone talked and how everyone was.
Yeah.
So what's the most recent music that you guys have put out into the universe then?
Well, it's been that Every Dog Has Its Day we released last August, I believe it was, and we're actually working on our collection of songs right now to go into the studio and record. When we're trying, my brother or my middle brother lives about 2 miles from me, and then my other brother lives up towards in inner Nashville. But
Okay.
we kind of get together twice a week trying to record these new songs, and but that's kind of the plan. Hopefully by summer. I mean, that was before this Corona thing hit.
Yeah, yeah.
We're hoping to record real soon, but
So are you all staying kind of in your individual homesteads, like you and then your brothers each, or do y'all kind of still try to get together?
no. Oh, you mean under this little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
No,
dip.
no. We'll get together to practice. Okay, like we'll practice at my barn is what we'll do, and that's the extent of it. I don't go in their house, and they don't go in my house. We just kind of keep ourselves because we got, we all got kids too, and
Yeah.
so
You probably so what is the longest amount of time that you go without having music in your life?
mm, uh, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
No, you do think you could make
Yeah,
it a whole day without
yeah.
some kind of music?
Oh no, yeah. That's the first thing we do in the morning as a family. We'll kick on the. I don't have TV at the house. I just have internet
Yeah.
because I'm just real self conscious about all the which
Stuff.
is all the stuff that gets infiltrated into our kids' minds. And so anyhow, I cast everything to the TV. We've got a couple of these Chromecasts that I got hooked up in the back of our TV, and then my middle son's got a smart TV. But so we usually cast music on the very first thing in the morning. And my 7-year-old, his favorite song right now of all time is Waymaker. I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever heard of the song. Yeah.
I haven't actually.
Uh, it's a praise and worship song, and
I'll Oh,
But
beautiful.
yeah, so he'll always say, "Put Waymaker on, Dad. Put Way." That's the first thing we listen to in the morning.
Oh, what a lovely way to start.
You can make him out right there or not.
Yep. Hi, little guy's hat in his head. Say hi. And look at that smile. He's got a
Yeah,
great smile.
he's got a dandy smile. That
Nice.
is my our third son. His name is we call him BW. It's Braxton Willie.
That's
And
cute.
yes, he was actually he was born at, my wife had him at 25 weeks, and he was 1 pound 8 ounces.
He's a little miracle baby.
Yeah, he was about 111 days in the NICU.
Oh my goodness. How about you got another littlest one then, right?
I do. He's a year old.
Oh, you got a little one.
He's a little, but he's a handful though.
Yeah, it's like the hardest one, right?
He's about as tall as he is round. He eats more than anything I've ever seen.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, my skinny boy, my oldest boy is 10. He weighs less than both my littler ones, my 8-year-old or my 6-year-old. And the kid never stops eating. He eats
Is that right?
He's like a living tapeworm.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing.
Well, that's how
So,
he is. I mean, his energy is just off the charts.
it's
Like
amazing.
we'll get up at 6 in the morning. He'll say, "You ready to go outside, Dad? Ready to go outside?" He's going nonstop. But
Oh my
they're
God.
a blessing. I'm thankful for them. I really
That's
am.
amazing.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So-
So are any of them going to be singers
I
like
would
Pops?
maybe the 10-year-old, maybe, but the others, they don't really show interest in it, and I don't want to push it on them. I want them to follow their heart, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
still a part of your life. It doesn't have to be your vocation as well, right?
that's right.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much of your personal life with us. It's like amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Where
thanks
can
for having me. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. It was really
Yeah.
fun. I meet
Yeah.
the best people podcasting. So tell us where we can find, all the best Flat River Band music.
Well, since since this whole Corona thing has happened, I haven't been as diligent as I'd like to on our social media, but we do post quite frequently on Twitter. It's Flat River Music, and on Facebook it's Flat River Music, and on Instagram it's Flat River Music. So
Yeah, you
check
guys
it out there.
do got some good stuff out there. I mean, you even got clips, some YouTube videos of some parts of your music, and kind of show
Yeah,
a little bit about what your life is like, you guys out there singing. So thank you
yeah.
so much for
Thank
sharing with us.
you. Bet. Thanks for having me. It was a
You're
pleasure.
welcome. You keep in touch when that music comes out this summer, because it's going to be out. Let us
That's
know
right.
what's coming, okay?
That's right. Thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
you.
welcome. Bye, Chad.
Bye-bye.